Welcome back, Tiger Valley College Grade 8s. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's lesson. And today what we're going to do is we're going to just look at two more examples of solving more complex equations. For example 1, you can see solve for x. 6x plus 4 is equal to 4x plus 12. So what makes this different to yesterday's sums? Yesterday you would have seen that you had one term on the one side and two terms on the other side, and you only had one variable on the one side. So as you can see here, now you've got two variables, the same variable though, but there is a variable on each side. So we're going to follow the steps same as we did yesterday. Step 1, we want all the variables on one side. Okay, so all the variables on one side, all the normal numbers on the other side, so that we can have x is equal to a value then. Okay, over here, so what we would do is, let's start working with the right hand side. You can work with either side, it does not matter. But if you look at like what I've done here is on the right hand side here is we want to get the 4x away. We want to actually take it over to that side. We want to put them together. So how do we do that? Because they are like terms, you can say 4x, and the inverse of a positive 4x is a minus 4x. So to take that 4x away there, you could have started with a 12 as well. I've just started here with this 4x to get that away on this side first. So inverse of plus 4x is minus 4x. What you do on the one side, very important, you have to do on the other side. So because they like terms, you can minus them. If you had two different variables, then you can't find the answer. You have to always have one variable where they ask you to find the answer of one variable. So if you had an x there and a y there, then you wouldn't be able to solve the equation. Okay, because they are both the same terms, they are like terms, you can then minus and add them, or add and subtract them. Okay, so 4x inverse is minus 4x. What you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So then you've got 6x minus 4x is 2x. And what did I have left there? Plus 4. I'm doing this very slowly. I had a plus 4 there left. And what on this side? A positive 12. Because 4x minus 4x fell away here. Okay, now you can see that we've got the x's on the one side, but there's still that plus 4 that we have to take over, or we want to do the inverse so that we can take it over to the other side and then get x alone. So 2x, what is next to it, the loose term, plus 4. The inverse of plus 4 is minus 4. So what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So plus 4 minus 4 falls away. There's nothing left there next to the 2x, and 12 minus 4 gives you 8. Okay, then you're left with 2x is equal to 8. What is happening to x? At the end, always ask yourself, what is happening to x? What is attached there to x? It's being multiplied by 2. Remember, if they stand next to each other, they're vibing, they are multiplying. So 2 times what gives you 8? So what is the inverse of multiply with 2? You divide with 2. So you divide with 2 on that side, you divide with 2 on that side, and you get x is 4. If you struggle, if you get stuck, just ask yourself easily there, 2 times what gives you 8, and x is then 4. Okay, you can test your answer. Remember, I said with every equation you can test your answer. So if you go and replace in every x value a 4, then you have 6x plus 4 is equal to 4x plus 12. So you replace the value of x is 4. Remember, you are saying that this left hand side is the same as the right hand side if x is 4. So if x is 4, this makes this equation true. So you need to go check whether it actually does make this equation true. So 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 is 28. And if you get that on the right hand side as well, then you know that your answer was correct. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus 12 is 28. So your answer was indeed correct. Okay, I'm going to show you now a very quicker way of doing these examples. We're going to do exactly the same example as what we did now, but now we're just going to, it says there's another quicker way to solve these complex equations. Okay, so I'm going to take exactly the same equation, and I just want to show you without writing all the inverses on top. It's actually just easy to throw it over to the other side. I always say you throw it over to the other side. And how do you do that? The only rule by doing that is if you have to do the inverse. You have to change his sign. Okay, so 6x plus 4, let's have a look, is equal to 4x plus 12. So we want to bring all the x's on the one side and all the normal numbers on the other side. So if you look on this side, this 6x, okay, I'm going to leave the x's here, so he's fine, he can stay. But this plus 4, he's a normal number. He must go over to the other side. But what happens? Very important, people. The sign in front of that term goes with him. So this 6x, if there's nothing in front, it is a positive 6x. Okay, plus 4. So that plus 4, when we throw it over to the other side, it becomes a minus 4. Okay, if you look on this side, which one doesn't belong here? The 4x, because it has an x, it's got a variable next to it. I want to throw it over back to the left-hand side. What is in front of there? A plus 4x. When I throw it back over, it becomes a minus 4x. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it here. 6x, bring that over, minus 4x is equal to, remember, it's a positive 12. If that was a negative, then it would have been negative 12 minus 4. So please, people, remember your sign in front of that term is very important. They go together. Okay, so you are left with a positive 12, and then this plus 4 came over to the other side, and it became a minus 4. So then you've got 6x minus 4x is 2x, and 12 minus 4 is 8, and then you can find the answer, x is 4. I've had questions in my previous classes where the kids say, but ma'am, if you take it over to the other side, where is its position? Where does it go and stand? Can it stand in the front? Can it stand at the back? I always say, if the 6x was there first, leave him over there. But it actually does not matter. It was just to make it easier. So I'm just going to write over here the other way around. So if I had 6x plus 4 is equal to 4x plus 12. So as long as the signs, as it goes over, it changes. It doesn't actually matter of the position. Remember, if I have 2 plus 3, that is the same as 3 plus 2. Even if you bring in negatives, negative 5 plus 6 is the same as 6 minus 5, as long as the term and the sign go together. So if you swap them around, negative 5 plus 6 becomes 1, and 6 minus 5 is also 1. Okay, so very important, it doesn't matter where it goes and stands. Your equation will still stay true. So let's say I brought over this 4x, and now instead of going at the back of the 6x, I took it over to the front of the 6x. So let's just keep our equal signs all underneath. It just helps us. So this 4x goes over and it becomes negative 4x, and what do I have there left? Plus 6x. So do you see, I just changed the order. Instead of saying 6x first minus 4x, I put negative 4x plus 6x, just to show you it does not matter where you put it, as long as the signs are very important. And over here, let's say I brought this one over to that side, and the plus 4 became a negative 4, and then I wrote the plus 12. Let's see if it gives me the same answer. So negative 4x plus 6x is 2x. Negative 4 plus 12 is 8. Thus, x is 4. Okay, so please, it really doesn't matter about the order then. What is very important is that term, that sign with the term goes with that term. The sign goes with the term. Okay, and as it crosses over the river, I always say it crosses the river, and then the boy becomes a girl and the girl becomes a boy. So your negative becomes a positive and your positive becomes a negative. Okay, let's have a look at one more example. 2 minus 3y is equal to 7 minus y. We want to keep all the y's on this side, and we want to bring all the normal numbers here on that side. Okay, so and you can highlight, use color. Mathematics, it makes it so much easier if you use color. So the 2 goes over to that side. What is left? A negative 3y. And if I bring this negative y over, it becomes a positive y, is equal to, the 7 was there, and then the 2 comes over and becomes a negative 2. Okay, so let's say if you squashed it there in front, it came over, it would have become negative 2 plus 7, and negative 2 plus 7 also gives you 5. So it really does not matter about the order as long as the sign goes with that term. Okay, negative 3y plus y gives you negative 2y, and 7 minus 2 then gives you 5. So then you can simplify it because you've got like terms on each side of that equation. All right, what is in front of that y? What is happening to y? It's vibing, it's multiplying with -2. So you divide with -2. What is the inverse of multiplication with -2? Divide with -2. And if you divide here with -2, the only thing that's left here is a y. Y is equal to snare, positive divided by negatives and negative. 5 divided by 2 is 5/2, or you could have written it as a mixed fraction. Y is equal to -2.5. Okay, so over here you've got improper fraction and a mixed fraction. Okay, but now I see my answer looks very ugly. I just want to test this. I want to see whether I did it correctly, and then you can go and replace it. Here's my original equation. Remember, if you replace it, very important, always, when you replace, even in algebraic expressions, when we replaced, we substituted one value into another or into a variable that was unknown, you have to always put it in brackets. It just helps you with the operation and to see what's going on. So please always remember your brackets. Okay, so in every value where there's y, I say this is true, this equation is true if y is -5/2 or y is -2.5. So let's go see if it is indeed true. So if you replace the y with a -2y, and over here -2y, you will see 2 and a -3 times by -2.5. Negative times a negative becomes a positive, and 3 times 2.5 gives you 7.5. Okay, over here 7 minus 2.5, that minus, remember they melt together, they become a positive. 7 plus 2.5 also gives you 9.5. So your equation or your answer is true. If you replace y with -2.5, it makes the equation true. Okay, and that is it. Thank you, grade 8s, and your homework is exercise 10.3 number 1. It's A to R, and in your textbooks you'll find it on page 122. Thank you for watching and enjoy your day. Goodbye.